Hello and welcome back all my Dragon Ball theorists, and since there's no episode this weekend, I wanted to do a special discussion video, and for the first time ever, I have a guest on the channel, and you know him probably very well in the Dragon Ball community. He is Unreal Ent Gaming, and today we are going to be discussing and talking about the possible end of this arc. Also too, I do have a little bit of a growing concern that it might not live up to some of the fans' expectations. Not that it's going to happen, it's just in the back of my mind, some fans might be disappointed if Gohan gets eliminated, or Vegeta, or perhaps even Goku and Universe 7 gets erased, and Jiren is the winner of the tournament. And there might be this feeling of, oh, this is the ending of this arc, or this arc has been built up over such a long period of time, it wasn't the ending that we expected, so what are we going to have next in the future arc? So Unreal Ent Gaming, I want to welcome you to the channel and coming over here and saying hello, and what do you think is going to happen as far as the end of the arc, and should we be concerned at all with so much build up going into this arc, and being that it's already at 25 plus episodes, that some disappointment could be in for some of the fans?
Well, I do wanted to say, first off, thank you so much for having me on your channel. It's always a pleasure, and looking at this arc, it's become very apparent that this is going to be very unpredictable. Some people might speculate in saying, well, the tournament's very predictable because we already know that Goku's going to win, which is a fallacy because we don't know if Goku can truly pull it off against Jiren. Now, according to spoilers, again, if you guys have not seen or heard of any spoilers, I do want to give you guys a fair warning that in the upcoming episodes, we understand that both Vegeta and Goku fight Jiren, and they literally unleash everything they have against them, and it fails completely. It results in a complete and utter failure. And what I find fascinating about this is finally, bit by bit, little by little, Jiren is going to begin to reveal more of his power and have that manifest onto the surface against Vegeta and Goku. And now what does that tell you? Two Super Saiyan Blues, if anything, at full power can do nothing to stop him. So as we near the finale, what's so interesting about this is we have no confirmation as to who's going to get eliminated next. We have no confirmation as to whether or not Gohan's going to be the first to go, or 17, or Frieza, or even Vegeta. Surprisingly enough, a lot of people are very happy that Vegeta is still in here, considering that he's fighting someone that unquestionably stronger than him, and that being Jiren, and after, you know, having to do everything he could to stop him, it fails, but he's still in the ring. So you have to admire that. As we near the finale and go into 2018, I really do feel like it's the playing field for both Universe 7 and Universe 11 are going to be even, to the sense where right now we have 3-on-5. We have Toppo, Jiren, and Dispo versus Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Frieza, and 17. I think that at some given point, we're bound to get some of the Universe 7 guys be wrung out. For example, maybe 17, maybe Gohan. The reason why I'm considering Frieza, Goku, and Vegeta remaining is because I feel like they're going to give Vegeta more of a role in this tournament, as well as Frieza, for him not doing anything in this tournament to begin with and now having to showcase more of his power. And Goku obviously being Goku because he's the main hero of the show. So, as we near the end of the tournament, you have to ask yourself, what could they really do to have any sort of impact against Jiren, which is, you know, the main problem of this battle. I mean, more or less, you can look at Toppo and say, well, anybody could throw him out in regards to Vegeta, Frieza. Same thing with Dispo. People are saying that, well, Dispo shouldn't even have given Frieza any sort of competition to begin with, because I mean, we can all agree that universally Golden Frieza can stomp Dispo no problem. So why is Frieza having such a hard time? Because according to spoilers, Gohan comes in to save him. It's like, why? You know, is Frieza not durable enough? Can he not handle Dispo? So I just think that as we near the finale, I want to go on ahead and share my opinion and my prediction that I feel like this tournament might officially end around, you know, February-ish, like towards the end, in terms of like the actual tournament, because just because the fight ends doesn't mean the arc is over. We're going to get some filler and then it's officially going to be over. So I'm calling it right now. I think the arc is going to end probably towards the end of February, in which we're going to have a definitive winner. And who that winner is, I honestly think it's going to be either A, Goku, the predictable option, or B, I really do feel like it's going to be Jiren. Because a lot of people are underestimating him. They're saying that, well, maybe, you know, Ultra Instinct can do the most out of getting the best of him and wringing him out. I don't know, man. I mean, in the spoilers, it looks like he's going to be manifesting more of his real power onto the surface, and that's scary because he easily flicks away Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, and we can only imagine what he can really do against Ultra Instinct. So that's pretty much my thoughts on that. But my question to you now is, how do you feel about the spoilers that we've gotten for Gohan not making the right choice in holding back, for Frieza having to struggle, for Vegeta having to give it all he has just to fail. How do you feel about that in your opinion?
I talked to you earlier about it off of the recording, that I think it's a little bit of a shame, a little bit of a letdown, but you kind of talked me back into it a little bit. I think that Gohan, being that his universe is on the line, shouldn't hesitate at all. He should make a warrior's decision, something that Piccolo has trained him for, to just and he's the leader of Universe 7, and that's why he's the captain, is because he has to make these tough decisions. And to eliminate both 17 and Toppo at the same time is a tough decision, but it makes great sense, especially if the situation was so dire that 17 said, I'm going to make a sacrifice and grab Toppo and eliminate him. I need you to help me. If that was the hand that was being dealt, and for Gohan to not do that, I mean, I think obviously we got to watch the episode. We have to see what's going to happen. There's going to be some big dialogue there as well. But for that not to happen, I think is a missed opportunity, because if he did eliminate 17 and Toppo at the same time, we can say that, probably Dispo and Frieza, okay, we can get Dispo out of the ring. So that leaves Frieza, Gohan, Vegeta, and Goku 4 against 1 to take care of Jiren. And that is some pretty good odds. And I think that 17 sacrifice in this situation would be worth it.
Yeah.
And knowing how strong Toppo is, I think that, Toppo could then turn the tides, because Toppo, realizing that he almost got eliminated, he will then, and obviously, the spoiler titles that we have for, I think it was episode 124 or 125, where Toppo,
it's 125 where he begins to release his power,
right. Yeah. Okay, and he shows his true power, God of Destruction Toppo. And he is going to unleash, and that could be something that's a real trouble and a real situation for Universe 7. So I wish he, eliminated him, because I think it's going to obviously take everything to go against Jiren. And I think Jiren's probably only shown us, maybe 20% of his power tops. I just feel like he hasn't shown us anything yet against even Goku with Ultra Instinct. Some people have an opinion that, if his Ultra Instinct didn't run out, he would have defeated Jiren. And that's just not the case. Jiren has plenty in reserve. Goku, even in Ultra Instinct, really wasn't able to do anything that really pushed him at all. He got, just a couple shots in, and it's just going to take everything in a well-devised plan, and probably something, that Frieza, being a master schemer that he is, trying to, exploit some weakness, or it might just come down to, obviously we got the time running out, and the universe with the most fighters wins. Do you think we could have a scenario where it is like a 4-on-1 against Jiren, and there's maybe 2 minutes left? So Jiren unleashes his full power and says, okay, now it's time to eliminate everyone. So everyone is trying to save each other from getting eliminated from Jiren. Because and I think that would be really interesting, if it's only Jiren left and there's 4 fighters, Jiren has to eliminate all 4 fighters in order to win.
Right.
And that could be a really interesting way to end the tournament, because then, you could have Goku trying to save people who, with instant transmission get knocked off, and it's just literally it's like a hide and seek, or like a game of tag where you're just trying to outlast the clock, because you can't beat Jiren. That's just, I just don't think that's possible. But I think he will unleash all of his power in the last couple minutes and just show everyone that he just can't be beaten. But I do think that they got to do something with Toppo, and I think it was a missed opportunity. But hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him, because if Toppo does power up and then eliminates 17 and or Gohan, I know a lot of Gohan fans would be really disappointed if that's the situation.
Well, I mean, that's because mostly it's because he hasn't done anything of significant importance, and the reason why I say that is because Gohan, so far, he's been fighting nothing but fodder fighters. Universe 10, Universe 2, those guys aren't really god tier. If he fights someone like Toppo and wins, that really boosts his credibility up so much as a person, because in the show, man, he hasn't done anything in this series, bro. From Battle of Gods to Resurrection of F to the tournament with Champa to the Goku Black story, and now we're here. What has he done? He's done nothing. And no, that's not me bashing on the character. I'm pointing out the facts and the idea that he hasn't done anything. So for him to redeem that and just establish his name a bit further, to have Toppo unleashed his godlike power and start decimating everybody, Gohan ought to be the one to make the save, make the comeback, and putting him down. Because if Gohan were to, hypothetically speaking, put down Toppo after Toppo puts down 17, then I think it would be acceptable to have someone like Jiren ring out Gohan. But As we further our way through this, if Toppo does end up bringing out both Gohan and 17, and now it really does come down to 3v3. Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza versus Dispo, Toppo, and Jiren, assuming that Dispo's still in here. But I wanted to talk to you about Dispo. Like, how long do you think he's going to be around?
Well, I mean, I think one interesting thing, if we do go back to, I think it was Kunchi on Universe
Kunchi,
11?
yeah.
He actually said that when he saved him, and Toppo sent him in to save Dispo, that he was the reason why he saved him is we need you. You're a needed fighter for the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to, and obviously the Pride Troopers can work very well together, and I think Toppo and Dispo obviously can work very well together. I mean, he's one of the fastest fighters on the stage. I mean, he's shown that against Hit.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a lot of power, but obviously that speed is what is a real threat. That could be trouble if he synchronizes attacks with Toppo at all, or just if someone's near the edge of the ring. I mean, Dispo could easily catch someone off guard, even not being one of the more powerful fighters, but, just with, a fury of attacks to knock someone off the edge of the stage. So I think they do got to try and get rid of Dispo immediately. One of the things that's happening too with Dispo, and, we see that preview with Frieza kind of, getting hit. Obviously, it looks like several times from Dispo. What that reminds me of, if you remember back when Frieza got caught in the destruction energy.
Yes, Cedric's attack, yeah.
Yeah, he trolled us all at first. He got trapped in there, and it looked like he was getting, destroyed. And then he was like, just kidding. So I think it's very possible, too, that Dispo could be working over Frieza, and then he just kind of does the just kidding, card, and actually shows us his true golden form, and then really turns up the heat and eliminates Dispo. Even though, like, Gohan comes in to help, I still think, obviously, Frieza, has a lot to show us, too. And he could probably eliminate Dispo and take care of him.
You see, Dispo, what's unique about him, and I don't want to consider Dispo to be complete fodder, he's very predictable. God Goku even pointed that out when he battled against him. He said one of your main problems is the fact that you're a good fighter, but your movements become very predictable. So I agree with you. I think that at some point, Frieza is going to have trouble. I mean, unquestionably. I think that, and it's suitable for final form Frieza to have trouble. Golden Frieza, on the other hand, is something completely different, to where I don't think that he should have any trouble to begin with. But I think that with final form Frieza having to be pushed into his golden form, it makes sense. But after Frieza goes into his golden form, I think that from there he should have no problem understanding how predictable Dispo's movements are, just like God Goku did, and just putting him down for the count. And then we're going to have... But then, let's say, hypothetically speaking, we have Golden Frieza ring out Dispo, then we have Toppo and Jiren versus 5 other guys. And it's like, okay, well now, one of them is bound to fight 3 people while the other fight 2. So it's like, then we might see the case in point to where we have Goku and Vegeta possibly fighting off Jiren continuously, while Frieza, Gohan, and 17 fight off Toppo. Like, this is why this fight is becoming so good, is because from the beginning, I think if you had a brain, you would know that it would come down to these 2 universes. Maybe 3 if you want to consider Universe 6. Because I'll be honest, I was definitely one of those people that believed that Universe 6 was going to be one of the last universes remaining.
Right.
And they ended up getting erased, which shocked all of us. But as we move into 2018, how do you see this going down? Do you see Universe 11 winning? Do you see Universe 7 winning? And whoever wins, like, what's the wish? Because we made a video on my channel prognosticating and talking about Jiren's wish. But what do you think? Like, despite who wins, what kind of wish do you see coming about from anybody who wins from each universe?
Well, I think just because of the severity of the situation, the wish is going to be, obviously, for Universe 7, I would think, to wish back the erased universes. I think that they obviously would want to at least erase, bring back, Universe 6. But if they can bring back Universe 6, why not bring them all back? None of the universes were bad. It would be, a smart decision. Vegeta's already hinted at that he wants to at least bring back, Kaba and Universe 6 and go visit, Planet Sadala. And so obviously, even if it's Gohan, Goku, or whoever in Universe 7 gets to make a wish, I think that they would want to bring back all the, erased universes. Now, I think, of course, would be, obviously that's a little bit predictable of an ending in a way. And I don't know, I'm hoping that they're hinting towards something that's less predictable. And that when that happens, like, let's say, Universe 11 wins and Jiren wins. then we have a situation where I think it's a little bit more interesting going into the next arc, because if Goku doesn't master Ultra Instinct, and both him and Vegeta aren't, and even Gohan and Frieza aren't to overcome Jiren, this like insurmountable, unbeatable force, it gives them something to train towards. They go back and maybe work with Whis again. Both Goku and Vegeta, get Ultra, but they both will have Ultra Instinct at this point, I would assume, and then they at least have this object and person that they can look forward to fighting against again in a future arc, or someone that they can challenge again. And so I like the idea of them losing and not being able to beat him, because he's been built up so much as this unbeatable force, and for him to be built up as this unbeatable force so much to then just be beaten, I almost find it kind of odd, and where it could get to that point where I said it would be a little bit of a disappointing ending, because if Jiren really is 20-30 times stronger, and if he is stronger than Fermad, a god of destruction, and this is just an unbelievable amount of power. If Goku or they just manage to beat Jiren, then what is next? So I think that it would be really interesting if Jiren wins, and then he wishes back all the universes because he had a good fight, or he tries to he wants to reset the balance in the multiverse, or something that's just interesting, and just he could wish for anything. But I think it would be more interesting, obviously, if Jiren wins, just because it gives Goku, Vegeta, and everyone something to work towards. So I think it'd be a more interesting ending, at least.
Let's not forget about Frieza too, because he's another wild card. So just to close things off, for me at least, I think that the ending of this tournament is going to be something that I feel like we all ought to look forward to, because there's so much riding on the stakes, in terms of who's going to win. Just so many things. In terms of people proving themselves, like Gohan, and having establishments like Vegeta step in and fight Jiren. So many things. But in conclusion, I think that, and I'm really hoping that this happens, but I really do hope that we get an ending to where it's suitable, it's not rushed, and it makes sense. And as we carry on into the future arc of Dragon Ball, I think that the ending of this tournament ought to be satisfying for many people, to the sense to where you got to see everyone, go all out. They did as much as they could have as characters, and we ride off into the sunset as we move into the next arc.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have one more question. You just made me think of something. What if Goku knows he can't beat Jiren, and we have a 17 and Topo situation, and Goku has Jiren tied up, and Frieza's the one to eliminate them, right?
Right.
So then at least Frieza in the ring. Do you think Frieza could win and actually get a wish? And if he did, and that situation happened, what would he wish for?
Dude, listen to me. If this was a case in point to where Frieza had the option to throw out Goku and Jiren, he'd do it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? This is not no Gohan, bro. Frieza would do it without even... You don't even have to ask him. He'll figure it out himself, and he'll throw him out. Then we have a very interesting scenario to where it could be possibly Frieza in the ring with Topo and Dispo, and that's okay, well, two of the top dogs are out, and all that's really left is assumingly Gohan, Frieza, Topo, characters of that nature. And it's just I can rest assured that I think that if Universe 7 does win with Frieza being the last one in the ring with any of his teammates, I think that by the end, to establish himself, he'll throw whoever he needs to throw out the ring, including his teammates. That way he makes sure that he is the last person in there so he can get those Dragon Balls. But I think that if Goku does tie up Jiren, or at least if they tire each other out, and there's no other option but to sacrifice, Frieza would sacrifice Goku just in the namesake of throwing out Jiren. No question about it. Remember, he's using Goku. He's been using Goku ever since the beginning by telling him, I need you to work for me,
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be interesting, though, if that did happen. Because, obviously people want Goku to win a tournament. But, if he sacrificed himself and got rid of Jiren in the process, that would make a very interesting end of the tournament. Because then you have both Jiren and Goku out. And then you have people like Vegeta and Frieza kind of working together against Topo and Dispo, and with Gohan in there. That would be definitely an interesting ending to the arc.
No, I think that would be one of the most unpredictable factors, because it's not like Frieza would willingly work with Vegeta, but as long as he makes sure that Topo's out and Dispo's out, Frieza will make sure that by the end, Vegeta's out as well, because he wants to be the last one in the ring.
Yep, 100%. Well, I think is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Anything on your mind before we wrap this up?
I just wanted to say I wanted to wish you guys a very happy new year, and I wanted to say thank you so much for having me on this channel, What If. Hopefully we get to do more of these, because I think it's very insightful for us to share our thoughts and opinions on this, because again, You have your opinions on the show. I have mine. And many of the fans have theirs as well. And we would like to know your thoughts down below as to what you guys think. If you guys maybe think that Gohan might win, or some of y'all might think Toppo might win, who knows? But we would like to know down in the comment section below. And I just want to say thank you so much for having me. And it's been fun. And I really can't wait to see what unfolds, because, you know, as the tournament continues, man, it's just becoming more and more exciting to watch, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely, and I definitely love the unpredictability of the tournament, and I hope it continues that trend. Thank you again for making an appearance on my channel. And
Always,
if you guys
man.
didn't know, I also made an appearance on Unreal and Gaming's channel as well.
Yep.
And I will link that video that we did together in the description. And I'd love to hear you guys' feedback, and wish everyone a very happy New Year's, and be safe, and look forward to doing a lot of new things coming up in 2018 and more discussion videos. Thank you guys, and I'm out.